Most people pick a church the way they pick a coffee shop. Is it close? Is the music good? Do I like the guy talking? Are there people my age? None of those are wrong exactly. They're just not the test. And there is a test, an actual one, in an actual verse with 4 specific items in it. It's been sitting in Acts chapter 2 for 2,000 years. Almost nobody uses it. Acts chapter 2, verse 42. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. That's the first church, days old. No building, no budget, no branding. Luke describes what they did and he lists exactly 4 things. The apostles' teaching, fellowship, the breaking of bread, prayer. Count them again because this is the whole video. 4, not 4 suggestions, 4 things a brand new church devoted itself to before it had anything else. If a church today has all 4, it has what the first one had. If it's missing one, you're missing something they thought was essential. So here's how to actually check. Test 1, the teaching. Not is the preaching good. Good is a feeling. The question is whether what's said matches what the text says. Acts chapter 17, verse 11. Now the Berean Jews were of more noble character than those in Thessalonica, for they received the message with great eagerness and examined the scriptures every day to see if what Paul said was true. Read that again. They're checking Paul, the Apostle Paul. And Luke doesn't call that rebellious. He calls it noble character. Checking the teaching against the text is not a lack of faith. Scripture calls it the better way to listen. Here's what happens when nobody does it. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3. For the time will come when people will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. Notice who's driving, not bad teachers tricking good people. People going out and assembling teachers who'll tell them what they already wanted. The demand comes first, which means the warning is aimed at you, not just at the guy on stage. The test. Sit through 2 sermons, not 1. Ask 1 question. Could I open the Bible and find that? If the passage and screen is a springboard he jumps off and never returns to, that's your answer. And if you can't tell yet, that's fine. You're new. Bring someone who's been at this 20 years. Test 2, fellowship. The Greek word is koinonia, and it does not mean coffee after the service. It means shared life, shared money, shared meals, shared trouble. 2 verses later, Luke says, they were selling property to cover each other's needs. So the test isn't whether people are friendly. Friendly is easy for 90 minutes a week. The test is whether anything is actually shared. The test. Ask 1 person, what happens here when someone loses their job? A church with real fellowship answers immediately and specifically because it has happened and they did something. A church without it will tell you about a program. Test 3, the breaking of bread. At minimum, this is communion, the Lord's Supper. The church remembering the death of Jesus together on purpose and on a schedule. 1 honest note, because this is one of the places Christians most sharply disagree. What exactly happens at that table is disputed, and seriously so. Catholics and Orthodox hold that the bread and wine truly become Christ's body and blood. Lutherans hold that he is genuinely present in and with them. Most Reformed and evangelical churches hold that he is present spiritually or that the meal is a memorial. Those are real differences held by serious people, and I'm not going to pretend one is obviously right in 90 seconds. But every one of those traditions does it. That's the point for you right now. A church that never gets to the table at all is missing something the very first church did from day 1. The test. Ask how often they take communion and whether anyone explains what it means. Both answers tell you something. Test 4, prayer. Not prayer as the thing that opens and closes a service. Prayer as an activity the church actually does, together, out loud, where you can hear it. This is the easiest one to fake and the easiest one to check. Every church prays on stage. Fewer churches have any moment where ordinary people pray for each other, and you can see it happen. The test. Find out whether there is any gathering where the praying is done by people who aren't on staff. If prayer only ever comes through a microphone, it's a feature of the service, not a practice of the church. Now, the honest part, no church passes all 4 cleanly. Not one. The first church in Acts had a fight about food distribution by chapter 6 and a serious doctrinal crisis by chapter 15. So you're not scoring anyone out of 4. You're looking for a church that is trying at all 4 and honest about where it's weak. A church that's aware it prays badly and says so is in better shape than one that's convinced it's fine. And once you pick, stay. 2 years minimum before you allow yourself an opinion about leaving. Every church looks perfect for 6 weeks and disappointing by month 8. That's not the church failing, that's you finding out it's full of people. 4 tests, 1 verse. The teaching. Can you find it in the text? Fellowship. Is anything actually shared? The breaking of bread. Do they come to the table? Prayer. Does anyone but the staff do it? Acts 2, verse 42. Next week. What to do when you've done all this, you're in a good church and God still feels completely silent. Keep it simple. Keep it faithful. Christianity Illustrated.